Hello children, hope you are all doing well. Today I am going to discuss hematology practical slides. The first slide is acute lymphoblastic leukemia. These are all your previous questions. I hope I can cover few of them along with the practicals. Let's see the definition of leukemia. Leukemias are group of malignant disorders characterized by clonal expansion and accumulation of one or more blood cell lines with eventual involvement of all hematopoietic organs and other organs. Here you remember the two keywords, clonal expansion and accumulation. You all know that leukemia is a malignant disorder. Okay, it is characterized by clonal expansion, that is only one cell type will be expanded, that means proliferated more, and as they proliferate more they accumulate in one or more organs like bone marrow, spleen, etc. Let me show you in simple image. Like on my left side of the image you have normal blood. Normal blood picture shows RBCs. The normal RBC count is 4 to 6 millions and the yellow arrow here is indicating platelets. The normal platelet count is 1.5 to 4.5 lakhs. The other cells are white blood cells. Okay, these are white blood cells. Normal white blood cell count is 4 to 11,000. This is about a healthy normal blood sample. Coming to the right side of the picture, you have leukemic sample where you can see there is rapid proliferation of white blood cells. There are more number of white blood cells and compared to the normal blood picture. Okay. As a result of rapid proliferation of white blood cells, there is decrease in the red blood cells as well as platelets. That's why the leukemic patients presents with anemia and thrombocytopenia. Okay. Let us understand the normal development of these cells, WBCs, RBCs and platelets. Okay. The hematopoietic stem cell, which is a parent cell of all these, will give rise to common lymphoid and myeloid progenitor. As the name suggests, it's a common cell which is giving rise to lymphoid progenitor and myeloid progenitor. Okay. So this is giving rise to lymphoid as well as myeloid progenitor. Now this lymphoid progenitor will give rise to B lymphocyte precursors and T lymphocyte precursors, which eventually mature into B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes respectively. B lymphocytes gives rise to plasma cells. Plasma cells produce antibodies in general. Okay. Now coming to myeloid progenitor. Myeloid progenitor gives rise to the precursor cells which gives neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, monocytes, platelets and RBCs respectively. Okay. So that was a hematopoietic stem cell which gave common lymphoid and myeloid progenitor, which gives rise to lymphoid and myeloid progenitors respectively. Lymphoid progenitor develops into B lymphocytes. Myeloid progenitor will give the rest of the cells. Okay. Now, to represent it very clearly, the lymphoid progenitor, if there is any mutation or if there is any abnormality in the development of lymphoid progenitor, we get acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Similarly, if there is any mutation in the myeloid progenitor or any defect in the development of myeloid progenitor, it will give rise to acute myeloid leukemia. Similarly, B lymphocytes, if there is any mutation in the B lymphocytes or any abnormality in the development of B lymphocyte, that eventually leads to chronic lymphocytic leukemia. The chronic myeloid leukemia results due to defective development in the neutrophils. Okay, neutrophils are otherwise called granulocytes. So chronic myeloid leukemia is due to any mutation affecting the development of granulocytes or neutrophils. You can see that leukemias can be classified into two major groups. Based on the onset, you can divide them into acute and chronic generally. Like acute leukemias, they usually present very rapidly. So the disease course will be very aggressive. Normally, they develop from poorly differentiated cells. As I have shown you in the picture, the lymphoid progenitors, myeloid progenitors, they are nothing but blast cells. Okay. Whereas chronic leukemias, the onset is insidious and the disease will be less aggressive. Insidious means it is going on very slowly, the process. So, it is less aggressive. The cells involved are more mature cells like RBC, lymphocytes, neutrophils, etc. So, there is comparison of acute and chronic leukemias here. Based on the age, you can see that acute leukemias mostly affects all age groups, chronic leukemias affects adults. Clinical onset, sudden in acute leukemias, insidious in chronic leukemias. Normally the duration, not only for leukemias, for any disorder, acute presentation will be less than 6 months, chronic presentation will be more than 6 months to years. Here in acute leukemia we have immature cells. The percentage is very important. More than 20% blast should be there to call it as acute leukemia. In chronic leukemia, we'll have more of mature cells. We won't see any blasts here. Even if the blasts are present, they will be normally less than 5%. Anemia, thrombocytopenia will be very prominent in acute leukemias because the progression is very rapid. In chronic leukemias, anemia, thrombocytopenia is very mild. WBC count variable here. It is increased in chronic leukemias. Lymphadenopathy, splenomegaly is mild in acute leukemias. In chronic leukemias, it is very common. So based on the cell of origin, again, those who didn't understand the slides, this is a simplified slide for them. Like based on the origin, from myeloid origin, we have two types of leukemias, acute myeloid leukemia, chronic myeloid leukemia. From lymphoid origin, we have two types of leukemias, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, chronic lymphocytic leukemia. That's it. Remember it like that, very simple. So based on the age of presentation, we can see that acute lymphoblastic leukemia, it is seen commonly in children. AML is seen in young patients. CML is seen in middle-aged people. CLL is seen in elderly people. This is your actual question. What is the peripheral blood picture in acute lymphoblastic leukemia? So, coming to WBC picture, normally I said the count will be 4 to 11,000, but in leukemia the count is elevated. It ranges from 50 to 60,000 to 1 lakh. Very rarely it may go beyond 1 lakh. Most of the cells in the count will be because of lymphoblasts only. Lymphoblasts will be there in large numbers. Next RBC picture, you will see normocytic normochromic anemia. Platelets will be decreased, so you will have thrombocytopenia. So under peripheral blood picture, you have to write WBC picture, RBC picture and platelets. These are the lymphoblasts. You can see they are small round cells with very scant cytoplasm. See here, very thin rim of cytoplasm is there. In some cells you can't even appreciate the cytoplasm, very scant cytoplasm. And the nuclei is round to oval with fine granular chromatin. There are nucleoli here. They are not very prominent. If you keenly observe, you can appreciate some round circles here. Those are nucleoli. So indistinct nucleoli. The nucleoli are not very prominent. This is another picture where you can see the cytoplasmic vacuoles. These round things are cytoplasmic vacuoles, and the cytoplasm is little abundant here. The cytoplasm was scanty in the previous picture. Here the cytoplasm is moderate. Okay, this is also another presentation. These cells you can see in the peripheral smear. Next, coming to bone marrow. Bone marrow changes in acute lymphoblastic leukemia. You will see blast cell predominantly, like lymphoblasts will be there predominantly, and the other cells like erythropoietic cells, megakaryocytes will be. You can see here lymphoblast again, very scant cytoplasm, very thin rim of cytoplasm here, and there is prominent nucleoli, fine granular chromatin. Thank you.